Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new around here. Today we have another prediction video, and of course is the EU Invitational this coming weekend. So the third and final regional of this split before the major. And this is going to be quite important for quite a lot of teams because this is their last opportunity to secure a major spot. And we're going to be predicting what we think is going to happen this weekend. So we're just going to get straight into it. We're going to start in Group A, of course. Carmine Corp against Solary is the first matchup. And for me, that's only going one way, unfortunately for Solary. I'm going to give Solary a game, though, because I think there's going to be less sweeps. I feel like there should be less sweeps in this regional because, you know, everybody's fighting. I know Solary aren't going to make the major, but hey, people have still got either nothing to play for or all to play for. So I feel like there's going to be some closer matches, you know. There's not going to be as many sweeps, in my opinion. I could be completely faded saying all that. But anyway, German Amigos against SAR is next. I think this is going to be another 3-1. I rate German Amigos. I really do. I do think they're a pretty solid team. And they've given Carmine Corp a couple of close run-ins. Close-ish, I guess you could say. But Carmine Corp being so resilient, they're so hard to put away that they end up coming out on top anyway. But German Amigos have kept some of the matches pretty close and taken a few games off them here and there. And yeah, they're in the same group here, so let's see what they can do down here. But anyway, Carmine Corp against SAR is next. That's going to be a sweep for Carmine Corp. Simple as. German Amigos against Solary. I think another 3-1 in this match here against from the Amigos against Solary. And then, of course, Carmine Corp against German Amigos next up. Again, Amigo is one of the teams that have looked promising at times, especially against other teams, but also against Carmine Corp. They haven't beat them yet, but they've come close a couple of times. They've got closer. You know, they've shown up. They've done okay. They've done pretty well compared to a lot of teams that come up against Carmine Corp. I think this would be another close one, but I still got it leaning towards Carmine Corp because for me, K Corp they're just so hard to put away. They're so hard to put away. They're so hard to finish off. They're the most resilient team I think I've seen for quite a long time, apart from maybe Gen G. But we know they can be beaten because we've seen it this past weekend. Carmine Corp, on the other hand, yeah, they're tough. They are a tough team. They've been beaten, obviously, but they're just so resilient in the game, and they're only getting better as well, which is scary. Next up is SAR against Solary. I think I'm going to go in favour of SAR here because Solary, again, I like Solary. I love the players on Solary, but I just can't find the wins for them at the moment, unfortunately. It's a shame. It'd be nice to see them at a major, but obviously that's not going to happen. I don't think it's possible anyway. It might be, I don't know, but it might have to be some freakishly weird results for them to make it and for them to win this regional. But anyway, yeah, we'll move on to Group B then. Moist Esports against Tundra is first. Moist prone to losing matches that they should be winning at the moment. Not the most consistent team. I thought they looked pretty good, or have been looking pretty good with Juicy, but recently, it's not that they look bad as such, it's just they're losing games that they shouldn't be. And then they'll come out and blow a team away that you think would be a closer matchup. So yeah, they're just a little bit inconsistent at the moment. But I think they'll beat Tundra. I think they'll come out the blocks as well. We're going to go with a sweep there, actually, because I don't know about Tundra recently. I thought Tundra were going to be better than what they've shown so far, but to be fair, this isn't the only time that they've caught the short end of the stick with the group placing. I mean, they've come up against BDS, G1 and Moist, which is just, you know, what do you do? 3 good teams. So yeah, it's a bit unfair to say Tundra maybe haven't been showing up because they have been getting some really tough groups in the playoffs. And this one is obviously no different. G1 against BDS next. BDS not looking themselves, obviously, and it's a shame. It'd be nice to see them back in form. They're going to be properly fighting for this major spot. It's extremely unlikely that they're going to get it. Again, they would have to pretty much win this regional, or at least place in the grand final, and then for a lot of results to go their way as well. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think G1 look pretty good. So I'm going to have G1 taking that one in 5. I think they look a pretty solid team, do G1, and maybe a little bit revenge for Muck by 8 against BDS. I don't know if has he played BDS yet. I think he has. Since he got kicked, I'm pretty sure he would have at some point, but I couldn't tell you what the result was. But yeah, we're gonna have G1 winning that one. Moist up against BDS next. See, now I think BDS will win this. This is what I mean about Moist and BDS at the moment. They're just such a flip-floppy team, both of them. Honestly, more so BDS to be honest. But yeah, I just think BDS are gonna win that. I just do. That's just EU for you. That's just the teams in EU. But G1 against Tundra next. I think G1 are going to be strong in this group. So we're going to have G1 sweeping Tundra there. That's 2 sweeps against Tundra, actually. But, you know, you got to roll with it. Moist against G1. Do I think Moist can take this? Well, they can. But I don't think they will. I just don't think they will. I think G1 are the strongest team in this group as it stands. I would have said Moist probably a couple of weeks ago, but now, after recent results, I actually quite like the look of G1 as a unit, as a team. They look pretty solid. They look more consistent, I would say, than Moist at the moment. But we'll see. I could be totally wrong. Usually I am. The first time, I didn't predict Gen G to win the last 2 regionals. And last time out, I predicted them to win. And what did they go and do? Lose. So yeah, don't trust what I'm saying. These are purely just my opinions and my predictions. BDS against Tundra next. There's an opportunity for an upset here. And we're going to roll with the upset and say Tundra take that 3-1. That unfortunately doesn't give Tundra enough because I've got them being swept twice. So yeah, they're still going to be going out with these results. G1 dominating the group, in my opinion. Group C is next. Liquid against, I don't know how to say this name, so we're just going to roll with DOP because that's the last few initials. So yeah, DOP is what we're rolling with today until I find out how to actually say the name. But yeah, Liquid against DOP is next. This is the X-Heat gaming roster. So you have Parker and Faris on there with their third Casa, I believe his name is. I'm not too sure how to say it. He's a Spanish player, so maybe he says the word differently to me. But yeah, X-Heat basically is this team. And I think Liquid are going to be coming out guns blazing. I think they're going to look really good this regional. So we're going to have them sweeping that. Vitality against Resolve. Now, Resolve actually looking really solid. More solid than they have ever, I would say, lately. And they have very good potential to upset some big teams. Now, Vitality obviously also fighting for a major spot, to secure a major spot, to keep their place in the top 5. Are they in the top 5 at the moment? Yes, they are. They are. So it's G1 actually fighting for the spot and Moist. Interesting, actually. And Quadrant as well. Very close. Very, very close. So yeah, we'll keep predicting and then we'll come back at the end and see what happens. Vitality against Resolve. I think Resolve are going to cause an upset. I'm going for the upset. I'm going for the upsets this time around in this prediction video. So yeah, we're going to have a little upset there. I think Vitality is strong. I just think Resolve really do have that upset potential against bigger teams. And they look really good. They're looking like a really solid team as well. So yeah, Liquid against Resolve next. Again, think Liquid are going to be very strong in this regional. So we're going to have them winning that 3-1. Vitality against DOP next. Vitality will bounce back with a sweep there, I believe. I'll tell you what, we'll give a game to DOP actually, because I do quite like... I kind of rate Parker and Faris, to be honest. I don't think they're bad players at all. Liquid against Vitality. We're going to lean towards Liquid here. I think Liquid are going to win every game in this group. And then Resolve are going to sweep DOP. So yeah, not a good showing, unfortunately, from X-Heat roster. 1-9 in games, but you know, it's a tough group, and Resolve look pretty good lately. So yeah, we're going to roll with that. Liquid, Resolve, Vitality, top 3 there in that group. Group D next. Oxygen against Monaco. Now, Rise has broken his wrist. Not completely snapped it, but I believe it's some sort of hairline fracture. So yeah, he's basically broken his wrist. And he's been given the all-clear to play. He seems pretty okay about that, so maybe he isn't really in any pain holding the controller. I don't know. Could that cause an issue? Possibly. It's hard to say, you know, because I'm not him. I think they'll beat Monaco. Anyway, I think they're going to be solid, Oxygen. And next up, Quadrant Sonics. Now, I've been sleeping on Quadrant a lot, and they've been proving me wrong every single time. They actually are better than I thought they were. And they're also fighting for a major spot as well, so they're going to be fighting hard, right? Now, Sonic's also looking pretty decent, but I think Quadrant will just have a bit too much. Actually, I think Quadrant will sweep that, from what I've seen from them lately. They've proven me wrong multiple times now. I keep sleeping on them. I'm not going to fall for it again. So yeah, Quadrant sweeping Sonics there. Oxygen against Sonics next. I think this will be a closer match, but we're going to edge it to Oxygen. But we're going to go to game 5. Quadrant Monaco straight away. Quadrant 3-1. I have no reason to not have Quadrant winning there. I don't believe there's going to be many upsets in this group. And then Oxygen Quadrant. I'm actually going to have Quadrant winning this. I think Quadrant will sharp a bit more on the day. And we're going to go with a 1-3 in favor of Quadrant as well. So yeah, I think I'm not sleeping on Quadrant anymore. I'm not doing it. I think Quadrant will look solid here. And then Sonics Monaco. I'm going to have Sonics winning this because Sonics actually aren't a bad team at all. They look pretty solid. So 3-1 to Sonics there. And let's just quickly recap the groups then. Group A, K-Corp at the top, of course. Amigos, SAR, and Solary going out in the bottom there. Sorry, I made that sound like these 3 teams are going out. Amigos and SAR obviously through as well into the next round. and then Solary going out. Group B is G1 topping the group comfortably. Moist, BDS, Tundra all on series 1 and 2, or 1 and 2 in series wins. But Tundra going out obviously on the game difference here, not winning enough games. So yeah, they're out. Group C, Liquid, Resolve, Vitality in that order. And then DOP at the bottom here going out. Quadrant, Oxygen and Sonics in Group D going through. Obviously Quadrant going straight to the quarters. And then Monaco out at the bottom here. So let's go over to the playoffs then. Of course, the teams topping each group skip the first round of the playoffs, go straight into the quarterfinals. So K-Corp, Quadrant, G1 and Liquid. Round 1 in the playoffs then. Moist against Sonics. This could be easily an upset here if this happens. I'm not going to go with it though. I'm going to go with Moist because so far when they've been in round 1 on the playoffs, they've looked really good. They seem to perform better when it's like all or nothing. You know, you do or you lose. Well, you win, you go for it, you lose, you're out. And they seem to be better with that, I feel like. I don't know. It's hard to say with Moist. It really is at the moment. But I'm going to go with a win here. We're going to go 3-1 to Moist. Next up is Resolve against SAR. I think this could be quite a close matchup, but I'm slightly leaning towards Resolve this time around. I think Resolve, I actually do quite rate them. So we're going to have another 3-1 there. Amigos against Vitality. Very close matchup. This is tough. Okay, this is a really hard prediction, but I don't want to see either. I wouldn't have predicted either of these teams going out round 1, but obviously because they're coming up against each other, I've got to predict one of them going out. And I'm going to go with Vitality winning against Amigos. I don't think Vitality will have a strong group stage showing, but I think when they hit the playoffs, they'll sort of hit the ground running. That's what I believe. That's what I'm going with. So that's what we're going to stick with. Oxygen against BDS next. I think there's going to be a slight upset here, which is weird to say because BDS are the reigning champions. But I think BDS are going to take this, which is technically an upset because most people probably would side with Oxygen winning there. But I'm going to go with BDS. I don't think Oxygen are going to be as good as they have been this time around. Maybe Rise's broken wrist might play a part. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling that Oxygen aren't going to be as good. When I watch them, they look good, but they look like there's potential there for them just to have an off day. So yeah, I think that's going to be one of them days, unfortunately, for them. Quarterfinals, best of 7. Carmine Corp against Moist. This is only going one way, unfortunately, for Moist, and that's Carmine Corp's way. 4-1 to Carmine Corp. Quadrant against Resolve. I think Resolve will put up somewhat of a fight, but I'm going to lean towards Quadrant. 4-2. G1 against Vitality next. Another tough matchup for Vitality. They've not had it easy. Well, obviously, it's never going to be easy in playoffs, right? But even their first round playoffs is tough. That's probably arguably the hardest team to come up against out of these lot, maybe besides Oxygen. But yeah, G1 against Vitality. I'm going to go with G1 here. I'm going to go with G1, and we're going to have it going to 7. But I'm edging G1, and I think they're going to be strong this time around in this regional. Next up is Liquid against BDS. I think this is where BDS's run comes to an end. I think Liquid are going to be looking pretty good. We're not going to give them 41 games though, like I just typed out, but we are going to have a 4-1 win in favor of Liquid. And then we're going to scoot over here. Carmine Corp against Quadrant. Best of 7 semis. Can Quadrant do it? Can they do it? Can they take down the beast that is Carmine Corp? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's going to be a Carmine Corp win there, 4-2. But semi-finals, top 4 for Quadrant, you know, that's good. That's a solid showing. I don't know how that's going to affect the Rlcs points, so we are going to have a look in a minute. So stick around for that. Next up is G1 against Liquid in the second semi-final, and I think, like I've been saying, Liquid are going to be looking pretty strong. So we're gonna have it going to 7. I think G1 will put up a proper fight. Yeah, but we're gonna go with Liquid, just edging that one. And then the Carmine Corp Liquid Grand Final. I am going to go with Liquid winning the Grand Final here in this regional. That's how I think it's going to play out. That probably means Carmine Corp will get to the final and win because my predictions usually go the polar opposite. I've been pretty good with predicting what teams are going to be where in the groups and who's going to be in the round 1s. But when it comes to the grand final, yeah, I haven't got one of them right yet. I've had correct teams in the grand final, but the wrong score. And it could happen again, but I've got to get one right. I've got to get one right in the grand final. So yeah, I'm going with Liquid. Let's have a look at the Rlcs points then. Let's go over here and see who is making the major if the results go the way that I've said. So we have K-Corp at the top, Liquid 2nd, Vitality 3rd, Quadrant 4th, Oxygen 5th. So G1, or no G1, no German Amigos, no Moist, no Resolve, no BDS in the major if the results go the way that I've said. And I think that's quite realistic. I think that can happen because the only team that probably, yeah, I mean, Amigos probably would have had a chance of making it, but because they came up against G1, was it G1? Let me have another look here. It wasn't G1, was it? Who was it? Vitality. yeah, Vitality, they've gone out round one players, you know? So if that flip-flopped and then they go out to G1 here, would they have made it? They probably still would have made it, actually. I'm not sure, it depends on the Vitality points and all that. I don't think they would have made it though. Would they have got? Yeah, so they would have got another 4 points and Vitality would have lost 3 points. Oh, I don't know, I'm getting confused now. I'm getting really confused. It would have been close. I think they would have been on somewhat similar points. I think they would have just missed out. They would have just missed out. Anyway, yeah, K-Cup, Liquid, Vitality, Quadrant, Oxygen going to the major, if the results go the way that I've said. So that's how we've got it then. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments below. Do you agree with my predictions? Do you think they're a bit wild, or do you think it could happen? Let me know. I appreciate the people that do comment. It's nice to interact with the people watching my videos, so I always appreciate a comment. It's pretty cool to see. And thank you for liking my videos as well and viewing them. Thank you to the people that have subscribed to my channel so far. Do appreciate that. And if you haven't already subscribed and you're enjoying my videos, then do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It would help me and my channel grow. So I really appreciate that if you could do that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all very soon.